Good morning, pregame crew. It is Thursday, March 16th, 2023. It is 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Welcome. Hey, Carlos Puente. Hey, Greg. Keith Night Truck missed you. Thank you, homebody. Good morning, Marshall and Matthew. Hey, KCZ. Great trade, Casey, on Apple yesterday. Amazing. Hey, George. Thanks, Night Truck. Hey, Sal. Looks like it's just going to be us chickens this morning. Not a lot of folks stirring. I am getting on a little earlier than usual, but I'm just so excited to be here. Hey, Kirill. Hey, Carlos JF. Josh, good morning. Y'all ready for this trading day? We have jobless claims in 8 minutes and 10 seconds to be exact. And we have other data coming out at the same time: building permits, export price, housing starts, import price, and Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. ECB rate decision is today. I don't know what time that is. And that's the European Central Bank, whether they're going to raise rates or not. And we sometimes follow them, sometimes not. So Canada, is my understanding, they voted to not raise rates this week, I believe. ECB will vote today, and then FOMC for the United States next week. So we'll see if this ECB rate decision is a canary, especially if it's a no rate hike. That would be fairly interesting. And I'm assuming it would be perceived bullishly by the market. Paul, you've been silent. Why? Yeah, Marshall, I got a new mic. I'm so glad it's better. Hey, Omar Bask. I have a little spongy thing that's coming in the mail to go over the mic so you don't hear the P's and S's so loudly, but aw, Casey, that's so nice. Hey, Sam. Hey, Card Lady. Do you read cards? Tarot cards, or do you play poker? Hey, RJ. Bask. Omar, good morning. Let's go back up to the top. I think Carlos Puente wants ENPH. We are struggling with the EMA's overhead. Daily downtrend, 196.25 held yesterday. We held it by about $2.50 at 196.25. We hit 198.69. I would say that this is a reverse back burner. When you get to 5-minute and 15-minute overbought, you know what to do. You know what to do. Here, here, here. Intraday resistance from yesterday, 206.49, then 211.97, support 198.69, and then that 196.25. Casey took this trade yesterday. So we talked about yesterday. Let's go back out to the daily. We went over this. Where's my price label? Here. And we went over how Apple likes to break resistance. And so look above and fail. You see that? 153.40, 153.14. Yesterday it hit 153.25 and it recoiled. Well, it did the same thing with support. Look here. 150.10, and yesterday, what did we hit? 149.92. Take a mental image, get that tattooed on your forehead. The Apple likes to look above and fail, reverse, and look below and reverse. So Casey took that look below and fail yesterday, and let's just say that Casey held it all day. I don't know if he did or not. And if I'm telling all your business, Casey, just tell me to shut up. Like if you have a girlfriend or wife listening and they know you got some money on that good trading yesterday and I just ratted you out, I will hush. But you got a 2.22% bounce on that. That was a great trade. Great trade. I loved it. You make 3D cards. Well, that's interesting. That's fascinating. I have the utmost respect for people who are crafty and creative because I am not. Hi, Michelle. No, Xavier, you're my favorite. All right, Greg, I'll give a look at it. George, Ponzi, Kirill, Fernando. You're welcome. Bonjour. Okay, let me go back up to the top. Make sure that I got everything. I think VRTX is next. Wow. Daily inside bar broke bull yesterday without a lot of follow through. Sure does give megaphone vibes. Do you see this? Higher highs without follow through, lower lows without follow through. Something to just keep in mind. So your high here, 29675, and yesterday you hit 29622, so double top. So that becomes the key level to get over. Hourly, we got a little squeeze going on here, meaning price is coiling. We're holding EMA, so it's bullish for now, holding 50 RSI, but pressure is building. Key support, yesterday's low. Good morning, senor. Bitcoin is relatively strong overnight compared to the market. Hey, Azizi25, what's up? So we're holding the EMAs. Daily has plenty of room for a higher low. I think pullbacks are for buying as long as Bitcoin is as strong as it is. The problem is you're not near support right now. You could use, you're just not near a support. Unless 723 could act as support here and you could possibly buy that dip back into 723 and put your stop right below $7, looking for a potential bullish run considering Bitcoin strength. Hey, Azizi, the chat is over on YouTube. So here's the YouTube chat here. And so if you look at the link, I think Jason will post, he posted in the description on TradingView, but I can, let's see. I will post it in chat. Well, I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know the rules as well, but there's the YouTube link right there if you want to go over to the regular chat. Either or, I will try to take notice. So MARA is bullish. Short. You're short Bitcoin? Okay, let's see. Potential hourly bull flag. 25,300 is the level to get over. We're over key moving averages here. This has fundamental reasons for this move with XLF, banking issues. We've had money depart the financial system, I'm assuming, and move to gold and Bitcoin, and that's why they've been relatively strong. All right, there are 200 of you, and when I get to 100 likes, I can do the next chart request. I'm kidding, you don't have to earn it to get a chart request. Keith, thank you for that. Perfect, Casey. That's so neat. Hey, Vic. Take short or long. Are you asking Bitcoin short or long? Bitcoin's bullish. Bitcoin's bullish. This is one of my favorite patterns. I affectionately call this a trampoline pattern. Doesn't mean it can continue, but 25,300 is that key resistance that bulls need to get over. This could be a little hourly bull flag. No issues here. When you have that trampoline pattern coupled with a squeeze, that's bullish for me. Thanks, Jason. All right. Hi, Timo in Poland. You found the chat. Hey, Judy Lawrence. How are you? Hey, Mary. With a cricket is what they call it, I think. My daughter has one. She's creative. Bobo. Okay, it's 6:30, and I'll tell you just a little quick story. When my dad was 62, we found his mother, and this was just a few years ago. We found his mother that had put him up for adoption, and we've always wondered, where did I get, my height And I wasn't built like my sisters at all. And I did not like art projects. And when I got to meet my grandma, she was 89. And I got to talk to her. She's like, I hate arts and crafts and I love playing cards. I'm like, oh my God, genetics are strong. Nature versus nurture, huh? Genetics are strong. So that was really interesting getting to know her, Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so a squeeze just means that there's pressure building. If you've ever cooked in an Instapot, you know that there's pressure that builds. It's a pressure cooker, and that's what happens. It's when the Keltner channels, if I had the Keltner channels and Bollinger Bands turned on, let's say these are the Bollinger Bands, it's when that Keltner channel dips inside the Bollinger Bands, and John Carter figured out that it creates this pressure, and price typically comes out of that squeeze with a little more volatility and follow through than other setups. Good morning. Okay. Let's start with the dollar. All right, the dollar has pulled back pretty well from yesterday, and it's shocking. If you've been trading gold for a long time or following commodities for a long time, it's always jarring to see dollar and gold to be walking lockstep together versus inverse. So gold has been super strong and it's just been totally able to shake off any dollar strength. Right now, we're trapped below the EMAs on the dollar. I can't ascertain a ton from following the dollar right now. Some of our correlations are off. So good morning. As always, I get things backwards. This is who I am. I'm Charkow Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be great. At Charkow Lori. Check us out at chartguys.com. What we do there is we teach technical analysis, and we have all types of channels and a very organized Slack. Here's our commodities. We have crypto. If you're interested in trading marijuana and psychedelics, we have uranium, whatever your heart's little desire is in trading, we probably have a room for it. And we have very knowledgeable, experienced people. And it's our goal to teach you how to fish, not to just give you fish. However, we do post setups. Let's see, short setups here. Top fishing coin against high of day. And here's the logic, and here's my exit, and here's my average entry. Here's my exit. Here's my exit, real time. So we do give out trades, but we also, most importantly, teach you how to fish. Yes, we just had jobless claims, and it looks like it was a nothing burger. Remember, Thursday data is every Thursday is jobless claims. Every Thursday is for the prior week. So it's not like non-farm payrolls for a whole month. So the market gets a little more immune to jobless claim data than it does other pieces of data, unless it's really off. So let's look at what it was. Hey, Alcha Muhammad, welcome. So here, jobless claims. We had 192,000 versus forecasted 205,000. So what the feds want to see is that the job market's slowing, and that's not really showing signs of slowing. If we have less jobless claims, that means less people are out of work the prior week. But it looks like the market doesn't really care about this data. This looks like a pretty big change here on Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index from what was forecasted to actual. So no big deal on the data. And what I do here every morning is I show you this table. I have notes on the other screen. I copy and paste those notes for TCG members only in chat after I'm done with the show. As you can see, it's pretty much a push. A little more bullish than bearish on certain things. And it's QQQ. This is the story, folks. How big can I make this? And you still, this is it. That's the story of the day. I hate when I mess with my table, but sometimes it's necessary. QQQ is the story. Bitcoin is the story. Those two are deviating from everything else. So I'm going to call them out as big as I can and say, this is the story to watch. Yep. The bear flag on oil. Yep, we got it. Over at TCG. Yes, George, I am tall. I'm 5'10". All right. Like, that's super important right now, right? So I was thinking this morning when I was highlighting the importance of QQQ in my brain. And I'm like, they can't take a break. I can't hit play because we'll get in trouble on YouTube. But it made me think of this song. I love this song from Cage the Elephant, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. And I'm like, ain't no rest for the wicked. QQQ, you get no rest today. I think I'm funny some days, y'all. So that was my attempt at the music video. That's QQQ. Ain't no rest for QQQ today. No rest for the wicked. I'll take this off and I'll go hide my face somewhere. But let's look at QQQ relative to all of the other indices. This is NASDAQ, which is the futures for QQQ. Relative to the EMAs, where is the hourly 50 MA? Here. We're well above. Price is well above. Look at ES. We're below the key moving averages. NASDAQ. We're above the moving averages. RTY, below. YM, below. Do you see how QQQ is doing the heavy lifting? I don't know what made me say this Monday that we needed the bulls. QQQ bulls run like their hair was on fire. We absolutely needed it, and we still need it. XLF still hasn't found a meaningful bottom, and we need XLF to find a bottom and bounce, get that dead cat bounce going. And what's the difference between a regular bounce and a dead cat bounce? A dead cat bounce doesn't typically change any trends. It's just short covering. Where an actual bounce and reversal is where you have trend changes and you not only have shorts covering, you have bulls, evidence of bulls buying. Hey, Felix. So that's the difference between a dead cat bounce and a regular reversal. And NASDAQ is the story here. It is the story. If it decides to take a break, the market could be in for some meaningful consolidation if QQQ decides to take a break today. This is a channel. I drew it this morning. I'm just going to keep it on my charts for the day. I just find it interesting when it has so many touches that obviously is providing some northerly and southerly resistance and support. So I'm just going to keep that channel on my chart. But do we have any problems in the market as long as NASDAQ is holding hourly EMAs? No. It becomes a problem for a bull trend day if you have names like, let's go look at Hang Seng. But I like drawing on Hang Seng because I normally don't draw on it. If you have so I'm just going to put XL. And then if we have XLK that is up, well, let's just draw a check for bullish. And we have XLF that is bearish, that's just going to keep us from having a trending day. It doesn't mean the market's going to roll over flat on its face. If you have one sector pulling the cart, at least somebody is pulling the cart, and it's a major sector. So right now it's XLK. If QQQ takes a breather, XLF will have to get its bounce on, and XLV would have to get its bounce on, because these two have been dragging the cart down. Let's go back and look at the table. XLE, super weak. What was I checking XLV bull for? Did I get that wrong? No, it is holding the hourly EMAs. That's right. So we need QQQ to maintain its strength. And I'm watching those hourly EMAs like a hawk on NASDAQ. The bulls need to see that happen. I'm sorry I've belabored that point, but I can't think of anything more pertinent to say to you this morning besides it's all about QQQ. All right, let's give you some levels. 394750 is that key resistance bulls are going to want to get over on that 4 hour. Otherwise, we have a daily bear flag happening, folks. Unconfirmed, we got a daily bear flag, and we're inside yesterday's very large range. So we had a very large range yesterday, and we're opening up inside that range. We could play bangarang all day long. And by bangarang, I mean where you just bounce up and down between resistance and support as bulls and bears probe liquidity. Potential daily bear flag. NASDAQ, we've got a double top at 11486 and 11462. That could be meaningful. Bulls have plenty of room for a daily high or low on a pullback. So with all of this being said, that means if QQQ were to pull back, dips are buyable. Let me say that again. if QQQ pulls back today, dips are buyable because it has been the leader. And XLF, if it bounces and gets its dead cat bouncing, reverse back burners are our trade there because we're looking for top fishing opportunities, because XLF would have to perform a, what do you call that, exorcism in order to fix this chart. This chart, bounces are for shorting, and I'm going to be a broken record on this on Queen of the Mountain trades, JPM, KRE, XLF. When they get their bounce going, look for top fish setups, a reverse back burner. Unfortunately, it's happened during after hours. But I am looking for first 5 minute overbought. Look at that little orange triangle there. I am looking for first 5 minute overbought on XLF for a short. All right. But NASDAQ on the pullbacks, they are for buying until the bulls prove differently. Hang Seng was down 1.72%. DAX is mildly green. This morning, RTY is super weak. I hate when I do that. You know, you can hit auto to adjust the price so when it moves around, it stays fixed, or it's dynamic and it's constantly adjusting for the price. RSI, when I accidentally move these bars, I forget how to get RSI back to auto. Is that it? No? Oh well, I'll figure it out. I always do. 4 hour lower high is in place. Now bulls are looking for a potential higher low compared to 1728. These banks are pretty weak this morning. It's weighing on RTY. RTY is the name to short. If you're looking for reverse back burner trades, look no further than RTY. 5 minute overbought. Let's go set an alert. Tell me when RSI gets to 70 on RTY and I would like to short it. Get your bounce on. Oh, you didn't know that song? Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's I guess it's kind of obscure, but I love it. 4 hour, we have enough room for a higher low, and Dow is in the same boat as RTY. I would say RTY is in more of a sinking boat because it has more names in it than the Dow, but the Dow is weak with all the financial names that are in it. EMAs continue to act as resistance. Bounces are for shorting until proven otherwise. VIX is still pretty froggy, plenty of room for 4 hour higher low. Alt R does a reset. I'm clicking on it. Okay, I'll read y'all's comments in a minute and see if I can figure it out. I appreciate y'all helping me. I need all the help I can get. Okay, so an hourly lower high is the more likely scenario here. Now can the bulls get a higher low compared to 25.35? This elevated VIX has created some major volatility, and with major volatility it begets major opportunity. Volatility equals opportunity if you're a day trader. Bitcoin has been pretty strong. We're over these hourly moving averages. We have a squeeze. Bitcoin's our leader here with financial system weakness. Bitcoin continues to benefit, and I would be more comfortable looking for oversold bounces than I would be looking for top fishing on Bitcoin. However, Ethereum is weaker. Look at where the 50 MA is on ETH overhead. Bitcoin, we're right at it. We're testing it. So Ethereum is definitely weaker. So of the two, I would look for Ethereum top fish setups and Bitcoin bottom fish setups. I guess it is already adjusted. I'm double clicking on it, so it must already be adjusted. I did it. Thank y'all so much. So gold is strong. I think this pullback was a little more than 50% when I measured it earlier. Yeah, about 55%. So higher highs not guaranteed, but I just don't know that I'd be going against these gold bulls right now. Market's pulling back pretty, I don't want to say decidedly, but it is pulling back a little more than what bulls would like. Gold is strong. We could be getting some volume climaxes on TLT, on US 10-year, on gold. It's possible. And that would just mean we wait for oversold bounces and backburners, because overall, this is a trend you don't want to short. Oil is still weak. I think it's a 6-hour bear flag is what I found to be the clearest this morning. Yeah, potential 6-hour bear flag on oil. Bounces are for shorting. There. So bounces are for shorting. Let's go set an alert. Tell me when RSI gets to 70 on oil. Major downtrends on major time frames. Same thing with nat gas. Nat gas has inventory today at 10:30, so just be aware of that. It definitely can impact price. ECB rate in 30 minutes. Thank you, Roger. Thank you. Mark, I was thinking TLT short because we're at that weekly resistance. Here, 109. Nope, not WLT. Here, we're at the weekly 50 MA and we have this resistance here, here. So I would rather top fish up here in this weekly EQ than I would be bottom fishing. I'd be more comfortable top fishing on TLT. Okay, back to nat gas. It's bearish. Inventory today. It's just bearish. Nothing to say. Remember yesterday I said I wouldn't go long with my ex-mother-in-law's money on nat gas? Well, man, I meant it. And that was right here. Right there. It is bearish. Bounces are for shorting until bulls prove otherwise. Apple, Casey got that great trade yesterday. We have a daily triple top at 153.40, 153.25, 153.14. Hourly is holding EMAs. Apple right now is strong. Look at this squeeze. It's bullish. Apple looks poised to go somewhere. Let's see. So what's been interesting is let's dig into this a little bit. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So financial system, SVB debacle happens over here. Apple drops. The whole market comes down. We recover Monday, and everybody's like, wait, Apple, or do you have any exposure to SVP? No? Okay, we'll bounce. And they've been stuck inside this range Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Apple's been stuck inside this range. Now let's go look at another name. Apple didn't get this memo, did it? Monday, Meta was tame. Yesterday, big bounce. And yesterday, even bigger bounce. Netflix. Look at that big move. Google. Look at that big move. Apple hasn't gotten it yet. If it's going to get it at all. That tells me this is a really important chart today. More important than other days. Because we've been able to, QQQ has been able to salvage the market and not let it completely roll over in light of this XLF weakness due to QQQ and it's some individual names and their strength. And it was able to do it without its LeBron James in the game. Does that make sense? So we didn't have LeBron in the game and we're still like winning games. So today, if LeBron is going to enter the game, then it could act to save XLF, but we need LeBron in the game today. Yesterday was your last day of rest, Apple. You got to get to work today. If Apple rolls over, I would look for market weakness all around. Not necessarily a given. That's just what I'd be looking for. Amazon got the memo. See it pop yesterday. It's been strong. Go back to my notes. Amazon, potential daily megaphone. I thought this was interesting. Higher highs without follow through yet and lower lows without follow through. And we have the daily 50 MA overhead. I'm interested to see if Amazon can keep things going, or do we get a nice top fish against 96.67, knowing that we have the daily 50 MA overhead. Does that make sense? So we have a synthetic resistance overhead, and I'm looking to see if the price resistance can match up with that synthetic resistance and give us a nice top fish. Right now, there are no warning signs. Thanks, Jason, for that. Back burner, when you have an outsized move, that video will explain it, but when you have an outsized move, let's say a 5-6% move, and you got an uptrend, and your first pullback, first 5-minute oversold is typically a buy. And why? What's the psychological significance of that? Everybody that was sitting on the sidelines back here watching it move up, waving by, having FOMO, that first pullback, they're gonna be like, I'm getting in. I'm tired of it running without me. So that is the overall psychology of a back burner, is that pent up angst, and someone gets an opportunity. It's like the train slows down a little bit and they jump on. And it's the same thing. The inverse is true for outsized moves to the downside. Man, I missed that short. And you got it dropping 7-8%. That first 5-minute overbought conditions represents an opportunity for that bear who had FOMO to jump in on the train and take it to the downside, or continue downside if the trend were to remain. So that's what a back burner is. All right. NVIDIA. Sorry about that plastic. NVIDIA still has resistance up at 24454. Whenever I want to get bearish on NVIDIA, I scroll out to the weekly and I say, no, that's not what I say. This is what I say. You are beautiful. You are a beautiful little weekly bull flag. And I remind myself of that. Any name that's green right now is a little bit relatively stronger than the market. NVIDIA's green. Let's see. Is this the end of the road? Is that a Backstreet Boys song? End of the road. Ugh. I never was a boy band girl, which y'all probably already figured that out. So NVIDIA, I'm looking to see if it's going to show any signs of slowing today for a potential top fish. It does have that potential weekly bull flag brewing, and I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. Tesla holding hourly EMAs. Do y'all see that? Look at all the green here on Microsoft, Tesla, QQQ, Apple, because they're all holding their hourly EMAs. So they get a green check by me. So Tesla's been looking for this weekly high or low. The question is, has it been set? Most likely, yes. We may get a top fishing opportunity right out the gate of 182.34. I'm going to be watching Apple, though. Apple's going to provide me at least some early clues as to what's the lay of the land today. JPM, KRE, XLF. You know the score. I'm waiting for 5-minute overbought. For a potential top fish. On JPM, on KRE, there's an alarm right there, alert. XLF, there's the alert right there. Okay. Boys to men. See, MG, I'm not even embarrassed by it, though. I'm not even embarrassed by it because that's not my thing. Now, if I miss a Beastie Boys reference, then we've all got a problem. Or Sir Mix-a-Lot. If I miss one of those references, then I got a problem. Yes, there was a buy balance, and let's talk about that. I'm glad you're bringing that up. The only other name I had for Queen of the Mountain was Snow. Snow has a clear triple top. I could show this to my 6-year-old nephew and he'd be able to get it. Clear triple top. 140.17, 140.08, 140.46. So Snow for me is a top fish. I was trying to get filled in pre-market and I didn't. Yeah, let's see how this plays out on snow. So let's talk about the end of day market buy imbalance, because I made a big deal out of it yesterday morning, and I had a lot of members saying, hey, Lori, it's 4.4. It was 4.4 billion to the sell side. And then there was an initial move down right here. There was an initial move down. But once those, so think about it. Apple, let's say you have 1 million shares of Apple that someone wants to sell at close, and it's announced at 3:50 Eastern, 1:50 my time. And then 5 minutes later, you only have 300,000 of those paired off. That means you got to find a seller for 700 more thousand. That could bring the price down because you have 700,000 that aren't paired off. And the pairing comes out at 3:55, 5 minutes after the imbalance. And then you can have a reversal. And I was calling it yesterday. So let's see. Here, 4.3 billion to sell. And yesterday was a buy. Now shares get paired up it can reverse at 355. I don't actually see the update of the pairing, but you could tell by price action. So the sells were paired off and then it was able to bounce. So just know that mock imbalance has one at 330, 350, and 355. And so if you have underlying movements you can't explain that are just really volatile, it's typically because of those imbalances. Okay. Of course, Mike. Of course I am. So I get it through different Twitter apps. I get it through Thinkorswim. Let me go back to that last post. This is what it looks like on your alert for Thinkorswim that comes through at 350. So various different sources. Do I see a head and shoulders on SPY on the daily? No. And I think this is what you're looking at and you need to tighten that up on the weekly. That's what you're looking at. But remember, a head and shoulders is a reversal pattern. It is not a continuation pattern. So at the top of an uptrend, you typically will find, that always looks like a middle finger to me, a head and shoulders pattern, and then it typically resolves to the downside. It's a reversal pattern found at the top of an uptrend. An inverse head and shoulders is also a reversal pattern typically found at the bottom of a trend. So here on the monthly, you could draw a potential inverse head and shoulders forming on SPY, and it could indicate a reversal. We'll see. It's not super clear. You can see it on the 2 week. A little bit better, but there you go. There it is. Correct. They can't be reversed. Hey, Sam. Yep, oil and gas I did earlier. Oil is weak. Bounces are for shorting. Nat gas is weak. Bounces are for shorting. Don't forget inventories today at 10:30 Eastern. And that's it. I'm done. I'm out of time. We have, I forget Denzi's going live in 1 minute. All right, y'all be good out there and use stop losses, TCGers. I'll have these notes to you in just a second.